All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to be talking about one of the most important works of literature you've maybe never even heard of. I'm talking about Portugal's national epic poem, Os Lusíadas.
Okay, so to get our heads around this, just imagine for a second. What if a nation's entire history, I mean all of it, the good, the bad, the ugly, was told like a Greek myth? You know, with gods meddling in human affairs, sea monsters lurking in the deep, and heroes on a grand quest. Well, that's exactly what Os Lusíadas is all about.
So what exactly is this thing? Well, Os Lusíadas, or the Lusíads in English, was published way back in 1572 by a guy named Luís Vaz de Camões. Now, the best way to think about it is like it's Portugal's Iliad, or its Aeneid. It's that big of a deal. At its heart, it celebrates a real historical event, the explorer Vasco da Gama discovering the sea route to India. But here's the cool part. Camões takes this real journey and just blows it up, turning it into this epic, mythological adventure.
And listen, when I say epic, I am not kidding. This thing is huge. We're talking 1,102 stanzas. To put that in perspective, that's more than 8,800 lines of poetry. I mean, wow, this isn't just some poem you read in an afternoon. It's a literary giant, a true colossus that really helped define an entire nation.
All right, so let's get into the story itself. The heart of the poem is all about Vasco da Gama's voyage. It's a tale of guts, exploration, and just unbelievable peril, following a real-life route across the world. So this is the actual path Vasco da Gama and his crew took. I mean, think about how groundbreaking this was for the time. They sailed from Lisbon all the way down the coast of Africa. They had to get around the super dangerous Cape of Good Hope and then cross the massive Indian Ocean. The poem takes this incredible, real-life feat and uses it as the launchpad for something way, way bigger.
And oh man, was it an adventure. The heroes of the poem, who are basically the Portuguese people themselves, the Lusíads, they face these four major threats. First, you've got ambushes from hostile groups along the way. Then, they come face-to-face with a literal monstrous titan guarding the ocean. On top of that, they're dealing with the horrible reality of scurvy and disease. And as if that's not enough, they have to survive a supernatural storm whipped up by a jealous god. Just another day at the office, right?
Okay, so this mix of real and fantasy, this is what makes the poem a true epic. It's not just a captain's log of a voyage. No, it's this incredible tapestry woven with threads of gods, monsters, and the entire history of Portugal.
The way the story's told is actually a classic trick from old epics. It starts in medias res, which is just a fancy Latin way of saying in the middle of the action. So when the poem kicks off, the ships have already made it around the treacherous tip of Africa. It's a brilliant move, because it throws you, the reader, right into the deep end, with the crew staring out at the huge, mysterious Indian Ocean.
And yep, just like in those old Greek stories, you've got the gods up on Mount Olympus basically playing with human lives. You've got Venus, the goddess of love, who's totally Team Portugal, but then there's Bacchus, the god of wine, and he is not happy. He sees this voyage into his turf in the east as a personal insult, so he's doing everything he can to stop them. This divine drama directly messes with the sailor's journey, for better or for worse.
But maybe the most famous encounter, the most terrifying one, is with the giant Adamastor. Get this, he's the living, breathing embodiment of the Cape of Good Hope, that part of the sea that sailors were absolutely terrified of. The poem describes him as this monstrous colossus rising out of the waves, with a filthy beard, a black mouth, yellow teeth, just horrific, and he's there to curse them. It's such a perfect blend of real-world danger and pure mythological terror.
So in the middle of all this sailing and fighting monsters, Vasco da Gama himself actually takes a break to tell a story. He recounts the entire history of Portugal to a king he meets. So tucked inside this epic voyage is another story, a celebration of everything Portuguese, from big battles to tragic royal love affairs. It's a clever way to show that this one journey isn't just a journey, it's the payoff for centuries of Portuguese history. Kind of like an epic within an epic.
So after all of that, after all the storms and monsters and hardships, our heroes finally get their reward. But it's not what you'd think. It's not a chest of gold or a ship full of spices. It's something else entirely, something magical.
Their protector, Venus, creates this stunning mythical paradise just for them called the Isle of Love. And there, they're greeted by sea nymphs. But hold on, it's not just a beach party. It's actually an allegory, a big metaphor. The poem says the nymphs represent the delightful honors that render life sublime. So the real reward, the ultimate prize for everything they went through, isn't treasure, its immortal fame, its glory, its honor.
So let's get down to it. Why should we care about a poem written back in 1572? Well, because its legacy is massive. Its impact on the Portuguese language, on their culture, on their whole sense of identity, it's just huge.
I mean, this poem is the very foundation of Portuguese literature. Think about what Shakespeare is to English, that's what Camões is to Portuguese. By blending real history with classical myth, he created this incredibly powerful story for the nation. And really, the true hero of the poem isn't just one guy, it's the Portuguese people, the Lusíadas. There's no debate. It's a masterpiece of Renaissance literature that put Portugal on the cultural map for good.
And that really brings us to the big takeaway here. Os Lusíadas gave Portugal this epic, foundational story that shaped its identity for hundreds of years. So it kind of leaves us with a question to chew on, doesn't it? What are the stories, the real ones, the imagined ones, that define who you are? Something to think about. Thanks for diving into this with me.